What's going on, you guys? My name is Matt, and welcome to the 0 to 100K project, where I'm challenging myself to go from $0 to $100,000 a month in passive income. And I want to invite you to come on this journey with me. If that strikes a chord with you and that resonates with you, and you're tired of things being the way they are, and you want to make that change to change your financial future forever, then what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe to my channel right now. And while you're there, just go ahead and hit like on this video. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch. Today, I am going to be talking about something very interesting, and that is Cairo Finance. Now, this is something that I do want to mention is a sponsored video, but I made it very clear that I don't want to talk about anything unless I can give my very honest opinion on how I feel about it and whether I think it's a good investment or not. So they happily agreed and of course said that's exactly what we want. So let's jump right into Cairo Finance and I'll give you my honest opinion about this entire ecosystem. Right on the homepage, you can see they say it's the first ever deflationary yield aggregator. And in terms of what a yield aggregator is, you can think of maybe like Beefy. Beefy Finance would be considered a yield aggregator. And basically they're going to go and aggregate and pull together the highest APYs across all the different chains and bring those to you in a way where you don't have to go look for them. And you can just stake in these different farms and pools and earn the highest yield. Okay, so what makes Cairo Finance different? Well, you can see here they say that it's the first ever deflationary yield aggregator. Cairo is a yield optimizer with its own deflationary system that focuses on safety and auto compounds crypto assets for the best APYs through the Binance Smart Chain. So one of the things that I liked when I looked into this project is that it is in fact going to be an entire ecosystem that's built out. It's really difficult for a single project with a single token to just survive and thrive and be around for the long haul. So I think people and projects are beginning to realize that you need to build around it a supporting ecosystem that helps everything function better together, that provides more revenue streams for the Treasury, more use case for the main token, a way for people to take profits responsibly so that they're not putting sell pressure on the main native tokens of the ecosystem, all of these things. And it seems like Cairo gets that, and they have a massive roadmap of different protocols within the ecosystem that they plan on launching. Now, right now, the only thing that is open and working is the maximizer, and that's where I want to start before we touch on the rest of the roadmap in the ecosystem. Okay, so I'm over here on the maximizer tab. The maximizer is a low-risk, high-reward contract that operates similarly to a high-yield certificate of deposit by paying out 1% daily return on investment up to 365%. That might sound familiar to a lot of people who know and love DRIP. Players can compound and extend their earnings through deposits, compounding rewards, as well as through team-based referrals. You see right here on my dashboard, you can see that I have 236 deposited. I have 2 available to compound, and everything should look pretty familiar to you if you're familiar with these style ROI dApps. So you're earning 1% a day up to 365% on whatever you put in. So how you enter the maximizer is you buy Cairo by clicking Get Cairo. That'll take you to PancakeSwap and you can buy it. Once you have Cairo in your wallet, your balance will show here. You put in your amount. You need a minimum of 1 Cairo to be deposited. There's a 10% tax on deposits, a 10% tax on withdrawals, and a 5% tax on reinvestments or compounds. So all that is very familiar and very normal. But here's where it gets a little interesting. I want you to notice this. If we jump over to the white paper and we look at tokenomics, you'll see that there is 100 million Cairo tokens that are minted. This is the max supply. There's 100 million, right? Now, I don't know why it's not on the maximizer page, but I did see this on the homepage. So let me scroll over here and find this for you. Okay, here. So, the maximizer is the place where smart investors can stake their Cairo to earn even more Cairo. 1% a day up to a maximum of 365%. But be fast. It can stake only the maximum of 52 million Cairo tokens. Every maximizer deposit will be burned 100% in order to reduce the circulating supply of Cairo. So this is part of why it's deflationary. And this is what makes it different than anything else that I have seen out there in the market, is that there will be an end. So right now, the game is to use the maximizer to acquire as many Cairo tokens as you possibly can. So there's 100 million max supply. Only 52 million can be staked into the maximizer. So if we go back over to the maximizer, It's like, how many times can I say maximizer? Okay, so if we go back over here, we'll see the staking supply. Remember, they said that there will only be 52 million. Well, it's counting down. Now there's 49 million left. So you might be thinking, getting on the fence of whether you want to get in this protocol or not. Again, this is not financial advice. Definitely read through everything and make sure that you really like the protocol and you see a future in it before doing anything. But with that being said, I do like the idea that there's an end date. This won't go on forever. That once this goes to zero, you won't be able to stake anything else in here and earn Cairo. And you can see that whatever is deposited in here is actually burned. You can see there's been 6 million tokens burned already. And they have several different burn features in the protocol that make it deflationary. And so, like I said, the goal right now is, while this is open, because it won't be open forever, to get as many Cairo tokens as you possibly can. And when I was asking the team, okay, well, why would one want to acquire Cairo tokens? Other than the idea that Cairo token will become deflationary, there'll be less of them, there'll be more in demand, and hopefully there'll be price appreciation. So that would be reason number one. And their response to me was that it's the main governance token of this entire ecosystem. So once the maximizer is finished, well, it's really going to move into more of the yield aggregating side of things with the Horus Farm and a lot of their different things on the roadmap coming forward. A lot of those things, you have governance voting rights by holding Cairo token, and you'll have opportunity down the road to stake your Cairo token to earn BUSD, similar to something you're familiar with in the pig pen in the Forex ecosystem, where you stake your pigs in the pig pen and you earn BUSD. So it's a form of holding onto your assets and being able to take profits from the dividends. So I think without putting sell pressure on the native token. So that's kind of cool. And there's another feature in there that you're going to be able to take your Cairo tokens and stake them in a different way to earn more Cairo. The only other thing that you should note is, you can see here my next recompound. You have to take an action every 24 hours. You can't hyper compound and just compound several times a day. I actually have to wait for that to go to zero, and then I'll be able to recompound what I have in here. You might want to let this roll over and line up with the time that you're doing the rest of your DeFi stuff that's time related, that you need to hydrate, recompound, all that stuff. Maybe in the future, they'll have some sort of automated recompound, but I haven't heard of that as of yet. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and look at the Cairo price chart, right? Because everybody wants to know, well, what does the price look like? So here you can see the project. The Cairo token was launched on June 20th. So we're a little over a month old, and everything looks pretty bullish, actually. You saw there was the classic pump and dump. There was another run up and a sell off. And honestly, most tokens that don't have real legs in life, they never recover from this stage. So when I was charting this and I saw that it had a breakout of that triangle right there, and then a retest, and then, man, look at that, off to the races. So from here, where does it go? It's pretty strong right now at $1.40. Now, will it continue to go up, or is it going to hit some resistance right here and go down to find a higher low, hopefully consolidate and back up again? We don't know. Usually in compound interest ROI dApps like Cairo, like Drip, things like that, you're really not as concerned about your entry as long as you're early, which it's only a month old, a little over a month. Then you're not as concerned over where the price is, as long as you feel like it's a good entry. I mean, it could definitely come back here, but over time you're going to win, because the compound interest curve looks like this if you've never seen it. And eventually that. So this curve right here, if you're able to get in and stay in and compound and have faith in the system, this will override any price action. Like this will, you make it to this end and you're good. My one other complaint that I have is that I'm not able to see the price right here of Cairo. And then if I could also see the USD value underneath my deposits, I think people really like seeing that. So anyone on the dev team, or if you're in contact with them, you might already be working on that, but I think that would be a very easy thing to do, but it would make it more appealing to people because they like to see their investment stacking up and accruing, and that allows them to do that. The next thing on the roadmap, which I'm at the time of the recording of this video, I think it's about a week away, is the Horus Farms. And this, I think, is more at the heart of what their ecosystem is going to be based around, and that is the yield aggregating APY farms and pools. Okay, so you'll see that on their roadmap is lending. That's not out yet. Auto compounding. Let's click on that. You can see there'll be different vaults in here with single and LP. So there'll be different APYs, a lot of smaller coins and tokens in here, but I imagine as this gains steam and traction, they'll be adding new, maybe more reputable, even blue chip tokens in here. Okay, they're vaults. I was a little confused by this at first, but what the vaults are and how they're different, if you read the white paper over here, these are vaults that run complex strategies for you, similar to an on-chain hedge fund. So there'll be two, I think, to start. There's a market neutral strategy and a saving strategy. And like for instance, this strategy is a pseudo delta neutral leveraged yield farming strategy. So leveraged, keep that in mind. So it's leveraged yield farming that makes it possible to combine yield farm high APY pairs while minimizing your risk by hedging out market exposure. The automated vault eliminates the majority of market risk by farming long and short positions simultaneously and rebalancing them for you to maintain neutral exposure. To make it simple, high yield and low risk. So this is going to be interesting, and that's coming in the future. If we look at the Treasury tab, you can see there's already 1,827 Cairo holders, which I think is pretty impressive for only being a month old. You can see that, again, there's 6.5 million burned Cairo already. And you can see over here, of the 100 million, there's only 93 million left. So, it's working as it's intended. It's been operating for about a month. The more that I'm learning about Cairo, I do like what they're doing. I like that the maximizer is a limited thing that's not always going to be there. It's a way to get people into the ecosystem and a way for people to really mine Cairo tokens for a limited time so that you will benefit later on when the full gamut of the ecosystem is fully operational. So the papyrus docs we just talked about, that's what we were just reading. Other parts of the tokenomics that you might be interested in is slippage is 12% on the buy side, 12% on the sell side. Other things that are coming later on down the road are going to be prediction. Prediction is a decentralized prediction market that allows users to predict the price of BNB. So it's like a speculation game that you can play. So you can read up about that. So that's coming. The Cairo Bank is a place where you can stake your Cairo. You can lock it from 1 to 4 years, and you can earn BUSD daily by doing that. And that should harden the price of Cairo over the long term if tons of people are locking up their Cairo tokens. They are going to have NFTs, and in those NFTs, they're going to have camel races. There's a lot going on. So you can buy and sell different camel NFTs. You can bet on them, the races. You can win prizes. There's going to be a lottery, and you look at this, kind of looks a little bit like a scratch ticket. So I know that, Forex and the drip community, they do blaze a lot of trails, but maybe this is different. It's some kind of a lottery game. In terms of an audit, they do have an audit from Solid Proof, and I did see, so you can click the link and read that. And I did see on their homepage, if I go back, they have a CertiK audit, which, guys, we know audits aren't the end all be all, but it's always good to have them as opposed to not. They do have a CertiK audit coming soon. I think my honest opinion so far is it looks pretty good, actually. As far as I know, this is all original code. It's not a fork of anything, but only time is going to tell whether they're going to continue to hit their deadlines and hit all the things on their roadmap. But what they have done so far, they're doing a good job delivering what they say they're going to deliver. The team and the devs are not doxed, so take that for what it's worth. I always find more comfort in projects that do have doxed devs or devs that have been in the space long enough that have a track record and some clout to stand behind. So that basically wraps up the video and my analysis of Cairo Finance. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you in the next video.